Gentlemen, let me ask you a question. Have you ever walked into a room confident in your presence, believing that what people perceive about you is what you intend for them to perceive? Well, I hate to break it to you, but you're missing something profoundly important, because the truth is, women are observing you with a level of detail and discernment. Welcome to my channel, Philosophy of Stoicism, that you have absolutely no idea about. They see beyond the surface, beyond the words you choose, even beyond the way you physically present yourself. They are attuned to subtleties that most men wouldn't even register, and whether you succeed or fail in social, romantic, and even professional domains often depends on factors you're entirely blind to. So today I want to reveal 7 crucial things that women notice about you. Things that more often than not, you never even consider, and I assure you these are not trivial matters. These are fundamental indicators of who you are, of your competence, of your integrity, and ultimately of your potential. As a man, women are highly perceptive when it comes to how a man treats those who hold no power over him. This is one of the most telling indicators of character, and yet many men fail to recognize just how significant it is. It's easy to be polite to a boss, charming to a date, or respectful to someone who holds social influence. But how do you act when there's nothing to gain? Do you thank the barista, or do you barely acknowledge them? Do you hold the door open for the person behind you, or do you let it swing shut without a second thought? These seemingly small moments reveal the true nature of a man, because they show whether his kindness is authentic or merely a performance for those who matter in his immediate world. Women notice these details instinctively, because they are looking for signs of integrity. A man who treats others with respect regardless of status is a man who carries a deeper sense of responsibility and moral grounding. Conversely, a man who is dismissive, condescending, or outright rude to people in lower positions sends a clear message. His decency is conditional, and if it is conditional, it is unreliable. If he can turn off his respect when it's inconvenient, what does that say about his capacity for loyalty, commitment, or fairness in a relationship? Women are drawn to men who exude a quiet, consistent strength, men who don't need an audience to be good, who are respectful because it's a fundamental part of who they are, not just a tool for social gain. Whether you realize it or not, your interactions in these moments leave a lasting impression. And once a woman sees your true nature, she won't forget it. The way a man carries himself speaks before he ever utters a word. We women are highly attuned to body language, posture, and the subtle cues that reveal confidence, self-respect, and even emotional stability. The way you stand, walk, and position yourself in a room conveys far more than you might realize. A man who moves with purpose, shoulders back, head held high, and an open stance signals strength, assurance, and a sense of belonging. He doesn't shrink into himself or appear unsure of his place in the world. He takes up space because he understands his own value. On the other hand, poor posture, hunched shoulders, downward gaze, hesitant movements immediately commune insecurity. It tells the world that you doubt yourself, that you're unsure whether you deserve to be noticed. Women notice this instinctively. They don't need to hear a man say, "He lacks confidence." They can see it in the way he carries himself. And confidence, or the lack of it, is contagious. A man who presents himself as if he believes in his own worth naturally influences how others, including women, perceive him. This isn't about arrogance or exaggerated dominance. There's a clear difference between authentic confidence and performative bravado. A man who forces himself to puff out his chest or adopt an exaggerated swagger often comes across as insecure, overcompensating for deeper doubts. True confidence is quieter, more natural. It comes from an internal sense of self-respect, not from the need to prove something to others. Women are drawn to men who seem at ease in their own bodies, men who exude presence without demanding attention. Simply adjusting your posture and being mindful of how you move can dramatically shift how you are perceived. It's a silent language, but one that speaks volumes. Women notice details that most men overlook, and one of the most revealing yet underestimated aspects of a man's appearance is the condition of his shoes. It's not about fashion or expensive brands. It's about care, attention to detail, and self-respect. Shoes are an extension of personal hygiene and discipline. A well-maintained pair suggests a man who understands that small things matter, while neglected, scuffed, or dirty shoes indicate carelessness, a lack of awareness, or even laziness. It may seem trivial to some men, but to women, it's a subconscious marker of how a man approaches life. If he doesn't take care of something as simple as his footwear, what else is he neglecting? His hygiene, his ambitions, his responsibilities. These thoughts may not be fully conscious, but they shape perception. A man's shoes tell a silent story about his self-discipline and how much pride he takes in presenting himself to the world. This isn't about vanity, it's about signals. Just like a clean, well-fitted outfit can make a statement about a man's self-awareness, properly maintained shoes send the message that he pays attention to the details others overlook. They suggest a level of organization, a capacity to manage oneself, and a sense of personal responsibility, qualities that women find attractive on a fundamental level. It doesn't take wealth or luxury to make a good impression. It takes effort. A simple habit of keeping shoes clean, polished, and in good condition shows that a man cares about how he presents himself, even in the smallest ways, and in a world where details matter. That effort is noticed. Women won't always point it out, but trust this, they see it, they register it, and it influences how they perceive you. A man's true nature is revealed, not when things are going well, but when pressure is applied. Women are highly perceptive when it comes to how a man reacts under stress, adversity, or conflict. They are watching consciously or unconsciously for signs of composure, emotional stability, and the ability to handle challenges without losing control. A man who remains calm, who thinks before he reacts, and who navigates difficulty with a level head, projects an aura of strength and reliability when things go wrong, whether it's a frustrating situation at work, a dosage agreement and relationship, or an unexpected setback. Does he immediately become angry, aggressive, or defensive? Does he shut down, withdraw, and avoid confrontation? Or does he assess the situation, adapt, and find solutions? A man who crumbles under pressure, who lashes out or panics, signals instability. And for women, instability is a major red flag. It suggests unpredictability, a lack of control, and ultimately an inability to be trusted in moments that matter. Strength isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending problems don't exist. It's about mastering the ability to respond rather than react. Women aren't expecting perfection, but they are looking for resilience. They notice the way a man handles stress, not just in big moments, but in the everyday frustrations of life. How he deals with traffic, how he responds to bad news, how he carries himself in difficult conversations. A man who can face pressure without crumbling or becoming consumed by emotion is a man who can be relied upon, and reliability breeds attraction. It signals a foundation of strength, one that tells a woman that when life gets tough, he won't be the one making it worse, he'll be the one holding it together. Most men think they're good listeners, but in reality, very few actually are. Women pick up on this almost instantly. They notice whether a man is truly engaged in a conversation or just waiting for his turn to speak. It's not enough to simply nod along or throw in the occasional "yeah" or "I get." That women can tell when a man is fully present and when he's mentally elsewhere. A man who listens well doesn't just hear words, He pays attention to tone, expression and meaning. He asks thoughtful questions, remembers details and responds in a way that shows he values what's being shared when a woman is speaking. She's not just giving information, she's offering insight into her thoughts, emotions and perspective. If a comm man dismisses that, interrupts or barely acknowledges it, he's signaling that her words, and by extension she herself, aren't important to him. Nothing makes a woman feel more disconnected than realizing she's talking to someone who isn't truly listening. It suggests self-absorption, a lack of emotional intelligence, and an inability to form deep. Women are drawn to men who can hold meaningful conversations, not just by speaking well, but by listening well. A man who is attentive in conversation demonstrates patience, empathy and respect, qualities that separate him from those who only pretend to care. Listening is one of the most underrated forms of attraction. It's not about agreeing with everything a woman says, but about making her feel heard and understood. A man who masters this skill will stand out in ways that go beyond looks, charm or social status. Women notice, and more importantly, they remember the difference between someone who listens and some who merely waits to talk. Scent is one of the most powerful yet underestimated factors in attraction. Women notice how a man smells almost instantly, and it influences their perception of him on a deep, often subconscious level. Scent is tied to memory, biology and instinct, making it an incredibly potent signal of hygiene, self-care and even genetic compatibility. A man's scent isn't just about the cologne he wears, it's about the overall impression he leaves. Does he smell fresh, clean and well-groomed, or does he carry the stale scent of sweat, cigarettes or neglect? Women pick up on this more than most men realize. Poor hygiene, even if subtle, can be a deal-breaker, because it signals carelessness, laziness or a lack of self-respect. If a man can't manage something as simple as smelling good, what else is he neglecting in his life? On the other hand, a man who smells clean with a light, well-chosen cologne, or just the natural freshness of good hygiene, leaves a lasting impression. It's not about overpowering fragrance or trying too hard. It's about consistency, freshly laundered clothes, clean skin and a subtle masculine scent. I'll create an aura of someone who takes care of himself. This isn't about vanity, it's about the signals being sent. A well-maintained scent suggests discipline, awareness and effort, qualities that naturally draw people in. Scent is primal. It triggers emotional and physical responses in ways that words and appearances never. Can a man who understands the power of scent, knows that attraction isn't just visual, it's something far deeper. Women don't just notice how a man smells, they remember it, and that memory, positive or negative, lingers long after he's gone. Women are naturally drawn to men who have a sense of purpose. It's not just about having a job or a hobby, it's about the energy a man carries when he knows where he's going in life. Need to tell anybody that needs a boyfriend? Ask Mark with the showroom gone. Purpose gives a man direction, drive, and a reason to keep pushing forward. Without it, he drifts aimless and uncertain, and that lack of direction is something women pick up on quickly. A man with purpose moves differently. He speaks with more conviction, makes decisions with clarity, and carries himself with quiet confidence. He doesn't need to seek constant validation because he's already grounded in something greater than himself. This doesn't mean he needs to have everything figured out, but he should be striving towards something meaningful, whether it's building a career, mastering a skill, or pursuing a personal mission. That inner fire is what makes him compelling. Conversely, a man who lacks purpose often feels stagnant. He may complain about life but take no action to improve it. He may rely on distractions, video games, social media or mindless entertainment to fill the void where ambition should be. Women notice when a man has no real drive, and it's often a major turn-off. Without a sense of purpose,